We're back. I'm on business today.
Right.
Oh.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the Keeping It Frank podcast show. Welcome back to the Keeping It Frank podcast show with me, your boy, the host of the mother and most, Keston Howdy Frank. What up, people? I'm out here with the number one co-host in Brooklyn.
Wow, in Brooklyn, not even Queens. Though.
In the world, the number one co-host in the world.
Every time we start this show, you gotta try to be spicy with
I got you.
Know?
I just in the world. You're number one in the world, man. Come on.
It's Triggs, your favorite person, because I know you prefer to hear me, not this man.
Probably. All the male listeners, yeah.
All the male listeners.
All the female listeners.
The females too.
You know what I mean?
Nah, I think both of them.
Yeah, maybe.
They both like to see and hear my voice. Thanks.
Yeah, I know. You know why.
Anyway, what's up, sir?
Good, man. How was your week?
Fine. Busy. I'm tired today.
Yeah.
My weekends be.
You always turned up, man.
I try not to. Yeah. I really try to sit my ass down. I don't know what it is.
It's like this thing. Is this like the best day to do this thing? Cause
I really don't know.
You don't know anymore?
Waking up on Sundays.
I feel like as time goes on, it's going to come through.
I be struggling. Some days I struggle. But I make it though. I'm here and I'm cute.
Yeah. And
but some days I struggle. But
you always start late. She come through CP time.
I come through CP time.
Yeah. I'm already here.
But if you should be here and already set up.
Well, you know why we don't be set up in time? Because the guy behind the camera is always late.
Nobody wants to hear this.
Yeah. He's always late.
Nobody wants to hear this at all.
So, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about, have you seen the special
Chappelle
of
show.
Dave Chappelle?
Chappelle show.
On Netflix.
Chappelle show. Ooh, you better watch your kids. Because R. Kelly's coming out. Anyway, yeah. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Like, yeah, that was an amazing special. I love that special.
So you really like But have you always been a Dave Chappelle fan?
Love that special.
Have you always been a fan of his from like the beginning?
From Def Comedy Jam.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
if I'm honest, I don't think I was like a huge Dave Chappelle fan.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't find him funny. I'm being honest. Like I think sometimes like I do. Like I think I've learned to appreciate his
sense of humor.
Not even just his sense of humor, how authentic he is to himself.
Yeah.
I think I appreciate that more about him, especially, over the past recent years,
yeah.
like all that stuff. But like before, like some things I thought were funny and some things I was just like,
what's his wackiest joke? Like what kind of joke?
I don't even know.
But
like I base it off
you don't
of
know, you don't know Chappelle.
I've watched like a couple.
You don't know Chappelle.
I'm just being honest.
You don't know Chappelle.
I'm just being honest. Like like when I watch some specials, like there's ones where I'm like cracking up, like my stomach hurts like the entire time. And then there's other ones where I'm like, okay, certain things here are funny, but it was like,
Who's your favorite comedian?
I don't know.
No, okay.
I mean, the one that just pops into my head just because I remember watching all his specials was like Cat Williams.
Okay, Cat. Yeah, Cat.
He was funny. But cracking up like the entire time, But I mean, no, I've watched like olds like back when like Eddie Murphy used to do his thing. I've watched a lot of like the old ones too, like even with Martin, all that stuff from like back then. And then like some of the ones now, just in general, not even just with Dave, like some to me aren't as funny as I would like them to be.
Nah, because the way I feel like the way society is not really. It's not like how it was. Like I'm the biggest Bernie Mac fan.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Mac don't play no games. We don't play no motherfucking.
I like the Kings of Comedy.
I tell these motherfuckers happened on my goddamn couch.
We're doing impersonations now.
I met Bernie Mac, right? That's like my
Oh.
Yeah, man. That's the only time I've been like starstruck.
I think I met him too, actually.
Yeah, the only time I've been starstruck when I met Mac. You know what I'm saying?
But like the Kings and Queens of Comedy, like that was funny.
Yeah.
Like,
But if most of these comedians, like most of these specials from back in the days, if this shit's aired now, like if it was done now, they'll all be getting canceled and shit. Nigga, they would have pissed somebody off. somebody be getting upset.
I mean, well, so
when Brittany Mac talked about his retarded nephew and shit. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a whole nother shit.
Yes, because then it would be like you're talking about people with disabilities.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, like, so based off of like Dave Chappelle's special, like, now people are talking about canceling him and want him taken off of Netflix, blah blah blah. Like,
yeah. I
mean, I don't really think he said anything worth canceling.
I don't think so either. But you have a lot of groups that do. You know what I'm saying? And they're offended because of things that he's saying for some reason. Because they want to be equal, or I guess they want to be beyond equal. I don't know. But when it comes down to, things like entertainment, comedy, like it's like you can't say nothing. I feel like about nothing.
I feel like in comedy though, things shouldn't be really I don't want to say things shouldn't be off limits, but like as raw and uncut, I feel like comedy used to be versus like how it is now. Like it's comedy. Like you're supposed to laugh or joke about the things that like, that are extreme, right? Or like that are that are still someone's truth, because then it's going to be truthful for multiple people, which is going to make it funny.
Yeah. I think there shouldn't be anything, off limit when it comes to comedy. Remember 9/11 happened? Like
yes, I remember
everybody, do you remember that? Do you remember?
I remember 9/11.
Yeah, do you remember 9/11? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know where you were when 9/11
I was in high school. I was in school and had a... Yeah, it was crazy. I was in
junior high school.
Yeah, I was in high school, and I was trying to when all the commotion was going on, I was trying to find Tawana. I wanted to smash Tawana and shit, and then my mom showed up in the school to get me out of there. It was crazy. What up, Tawana? I mean, you asked, but. Let's get off of that. But when it came down to like comedy, I remember Comic View was like the biggest thing, right? Everybody had jokes on 9/11, Muslim, Bin Laden. It was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And of course, society at that point in time was condemning Muslims, and the way people, the way they was treated and everything like that. But comedy was still that one thing that still brought things together. Still, like we was laughing at things, that was, otherwise hurtful and shit for certain groups, and they was laughing at it or whatever. I don't know. But we didn't have. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know, but we didn't have that much like uproar and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Social media and cancel culture wasn't a big thing then, I guess. Also, where maybe they did want to cancel somebody and they just didn't have the words for it.
Yeah, but just if anything, if you know how certain comedians are or whatever, just stay away from their comedy. It's not that crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So that too, it could be like if you know something, like if you don't like it, then maybe don't watch it, right?
Yeah.
But so what do you think about, like, speaking about like people making jokes about like a certain group, right? So like Dave being a straight black man making his jokes, he's made jokes about everybody. Honestly.
Yes.
But it's like, do you like, so with the 9/11 jokes, whoever made the jokes, most of them probably were not Muslim, right? But so it's like, should the joke stay within like your own group?
No.
Like, would you feel a type of way if a white comedian was making a lot of black jokes, even though they might be true, right? Like, it might be some shit that's probably like, nah, he right.
Listen.
But if it was a white comedian, would you feel a type of way?
No, because we had those before, right? Gary Owens, one of those people that came up around a lot of black comedians. He was a host of BET Comic View. You know what I'm saying? Like, he made his bones off of just black jokes, and he's married to a white woman, a black woman, and all that stuff like that. His kids is mixed race. Mixed and everything. So he made his bones off of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, do we want to go around saying nigga? No. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? You can tell those jokes. I never seen someone black get upset with a comedian for talking about the hood or talking about black girls or talking about whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? When dude from Seinfeld went crazy, he went crazy because he was saying the N-word, or he was tight, motherfucking niggas. You know what I'm saying? He was going in, right? It wasn't like, oh, he just, artistically just came out and he was making jokes about black people. He was cursing that motherfucker. I'm saying, calling him the N-word and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, dude, just because, you know, like, all right, so cool. So we have a black gay person, right? Okay, he can speak about being black, speak about being gay, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? White gay person can speak about all that shit, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, why would we want to limit our comedians from, I mean, topic-wise and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, back in the days, a lot of niggas would have been canceled.
I mean, true. You know I think it used to be very raw and uncut. And like that was the thing that I think partly for me that I found probably more funny about comedy versus like now where some things aren't as funny. To me anymore. Just because it could potentially be because it's a little more sugar-coated than how it used to be, or just less animated than how it used to be. Because I feel like people used to be so much more like animated in their stories as well. But I was gonna say something else with that, but yeah, like I just feel like I don't want to say like people are built different nowadays, but it's like people are very sensitive. But I had a conversation with somebody about that, like, and the person I had a conversation was a black gay man, and we were talking about the comedy special, and I was just like, you know, I don't feel like Dave. I felt like I could see where his full story was going, right? Like, yes, he made jokes. He took something that was potentially serious and made a joke out of a lot of things and like, you know, found the funny in it, but he came full circle with what the message he was trying to come across with. So I was like, I don't feel, you know, that people should be really trying to cancel him, but he said, you don't understand, as someone that probably is trans or gay or whatever, how they feel when somebody's making jokes about them. And I was like, maybe I can understand that because we're not in their in their shoes, so we don't understand how hard it might have been for them, you know, growing up and getting to this point of feeling comfortable with yourself. That then people are making jokes about it. But I feel like everybody makes jokes about everyone, and I just feel like in that specific special, I didn't really watch all of Dave Chappelle's past stuff. Like I don't know exactly what he was saying in the past, but for it to be specifically on that special. He came so full circle with his story, even about his friend at the end, that I was like, I didn't get from there at all that he hated like the LGBTQ community at all. Like, yeah,
because he even said it. He even said it in the special. Like, this is not, you know, he said people think that he's against the LGBTQ. But he said if you listen to any of his comedy
against white people,
yeah, I mean, he's always been against white people. You know what I'm saying?
And is it the white people trying to cancel him?
No. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, like after I seen it, I probably watched that shit like 3-4 times, right? And then, you know, man, I dive in. I go into like I'll be on like online, YouTube, and I mean Instagram, and I'm seeing everything that everybody is saying. Some positives, some negatives. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching everybody, like, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, some certain gay people was like, you know what I mean, within that community is like, listen, like they understand. You know what I'm saying? They really do understand. And some people just like they don't understand, and everything that they're saying about the special is like it's wrong. It's either that they didn't see it fully. And think about it, and within the special, Dave has mentioned that, right? He had a bit where I guess a woman who was the mother of a trans person.
Oh, and she
right?
was like,
and he said, that, you know, he was like, well, how did you see me, right? Did you buy a ticket to see me? Did you come to a show? And he was like,
this is real life versus what you're seeing on fucking stage,
right? You're probably seeing a snippet, and you're taking that out of context and saying, oh well, you know, whatever the case is. And I feel that's what a lot of people are doing too. You know what I'm saying?
But I also feel like people need to acknowledge like if someone made a joke about black people, right? We know the real shit that be going on, right? And if somebody make a joke about it, you know this should be true half the time. Like, so it's like, you know, half the stuff, certain jokes that are said, it makes it funny because it's true. And it's like, regardless of who might be saying it, are they saying it in a really like degrading way, or are they saying it to make a joke? And I feel like when he talked about Daphne, his friend, and how she was like, he is a master at his craft. Like, he doesn't think he's better than anyone. Like, he's not trying to put anyone down. He is a comedian, and he instead of punching down,
he don't punch up, he don't punch down, he punches lines.
And I was just like, you know what? If no one listened to that fucking story and took from it that he cared about this woman, this trans woman, right? And like, like even set up a whole fucking trust fund for her daughter. I'm like, come on, like you don't have to be best friends with everyone that's trans, but you can still respect their like.
And then again, that's one person that's somebody who had understanding and had a sense of humor about, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to do something or be something? Why would you go that far and still not be comfortable, you know what I'm saying, just with yourself? Like, you went that far, you know what I mean, to go through whatever you have to go through to, you know, be trans, but then you're still not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're in this world now. This is who you are now, right? This is how you identify yourself, or whatever the case is. All right, cool. But in the world of comedy, talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be talked about? You don't want to be included? You want to be included in certain things, but you don't want to be included in everything.
Comedy is just not the same, you know what anymore.
I'm saying? I just like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you have somebody like Dave Chappelle that can keep it real on his side, right? Because he even talked about J.K. Rowling and how she got canceled. You know what I mean? Because of what she said, right?
How you cancel her? She wrote all those Harry Potter books
herself, right?
Come on.
But also, like, listen, you can have your own idea about something, and you don't have to agree with everything someone says. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? You can make your choice. You could be like, you know what? We're on a different side of things, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? You could feel one way about the LGBT community movement. I could feel a whole different way about it. But it should be okay. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like there's nothing wrong with having a difference of opinion. Like, people can disagree. I think, yes, when it comes to human rights, that we all want to be equal. We all want to be accepted, right? We all want to, when you go down to equal pay, equal rights, all those things. Like, it should just be human rights. Everyone should be equal across the board, regardless of all of that.
Yeah,
but
probably
it's like,
never happened, though. So
probably not. Never. But it's like, it's fine if you want to have a disagreement and say, you know what, honestly, I don't believe a man and a man should be married. I strongly believe that it should be a man and a woman. But at the end of the day, that's your life. You go over there and you do that. I don't have to be disrespectful to you. Nope. I might not agree with it, but you know, you go over there and you do what you want to do. I feel like that's the easiest way to just continue to move on through life. But people make it so hard, like, oh, because you disagree, that means like. I just be like, go ahead.
And the thing about it, like, at the beginning of the special, Dave warned you. He's like, listen. He said he came into this special with an agenda. Right? He's put in all his past episodes, all his past stand up that he did under the Netflix banner, right? Where he's dabbled and he touched on the LGBT and whatever the case is, right? He did a couple episodes, joints, right?
Recall.
Yeah, he did a couple, right? And it progressed each time, right? And Dave, he's the kind of comedian that if he says something and got a lot of backlash and whatever the case is, you know, before he moves on, he's gonna bring that shit back up again. You know what I'm saying? Just so we have a better understanding of what's going on, what's being stated, or whatever the case is, right? And you know, and even in the special, he broke down. He said, "Listen, I said this, I said that, I said that. Y'all not listening." You know
and people don't. They people hear the part that they want to hear. They don't hear the whole thing, and that's why I was just like, who is really out here trying to cancel him? You know what I mean? But like the weird thing, like I said, like I was like, white folk, as much as he probably talked about white people, they was sitting right there in the audience laughing there right with him about his jokes. Because when you saw the audience, you saw sprinkles of white folk in there. And like, you know what I mean? But then people now want to post this National Black Justice Coalition. I said, who the hell? Like, what's, because I'm sure generally black folk, we ain't got no problems.
Exactly.
It's perfectly fine. But, well, we Googled this, right? This National Black Justice, what have you.
Whoever they are.
That sounded very interesting that all of a sudden, like, to me, they came out of nowhere.
Is it a new organization? Like, they've been around for whatever.
All right. So, when you Google this National Black Justice Coalition, it says, since 2003, it's been around since 2003.
Okay, 2003.
It has been America's leading national civil rights organization dedicated to the empowerment of Black, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus, and some gender-loving people, including people living with HIV/AIDS through coalition building, federal policy, so on and so forth. So it's not just Black justice; it's specifically for black, gay, lesbian people. So now that kind of makes a little more sense as to why they all of a sudden want to cancel it. Because I was just like, where all of a sudden these black people come from? Like, why do black people want to cancel it? But I guess now it's honestly just for the LGBTQ community.
Exactly. And I think that's my problem sometimes when it comes down to these organizations. And I feel like we don't have no organizations for ourselves, right?
I mean, you got
even
the NAACP.
Okay, they do a couple of award shows and stuff like that. They haven't really done anything significant in a minute, right? Like we hear Black Lives Matter, but Black Lives Matter, the description is similar to that. You know what I'm saying?
It specifically says like for like
it
LGBTQ or just.
I mean, like they say black, but then like I think
Black Lives Matter is
at one point in time it did sound like they was aiming more at LGBT, and then I think they changed it around a little bit to make it sound a little better, because everybody was saying like, yo, if you really go on their website and read what they're about, you know what I'm saying, it breaks down like that. But now they kind of changed it around. But I mean, you think about it, like you said, NAACP, we had other groups like back in the days and shit, like before our time and whatever the case is. But we don't have those kind of groups that focus on, you know, just black issues, right? Like that's how I feel, right? Like, and then we have all these other groups, and like we said earlier, like as a black man, like we really can't speak about too much different things, because for us, you know, we don't have no protection, no groups like focus on black men life. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a lot of women groups, we have LGBT groups, we have whatever the case is.
I mean, I feel like they're starting more men's groups. Do I know the names of them? No, but I feel I don't know the names of the women ones either. Like the funny thing is I do know the names of a lot of like the gay male like programs that are together. Like I've volunteered in the past at the oh my god, why am I forgetting the name? They're in New York though. I used to like volunteer during the holidays at their kitchen and stuff like that. But I mean, like the weird thing with that is that I feel like for black issues and like gay issues, they intertwine, right? Because you have a lot of black people that are a part of, right, the gay rights movement in the sense, and then or people that are just black, they're also gay. It just, I feel like there's ways that all the issues intertwine, but it is very interesting that kind of like what Dave mentioned, how progressive or like forward moving the gay rights like movement has been versus like the black civil rights movement. Exactly. Like that has been a little bit more about a standstill versus where their movement has gone. Are black people included in that movement? Yes. But you know?
I definitely feel like it's a separation, right? Like he made a point in it with this one joke that he made where he had an altercation with a gay person, right? And you know, that it was, again, he was being recorded by a gay person. It was disrespectful to him, whatever the case is. And he wanted to, he realized the guy was gay, so he couldn't really do too much, whatever. But instead of like two people, having a situation, right? The guy, I guess it was a white gay man. I mean,
he said gay people feel like they're the minority until then they want to become white again.
And then they use that card. But if it was two black people doing it,
right?
The black person wouldn't even, right? Even if you're gay or not, you really can't use that card, because when the cops come, they don't care who you are and all that.
It's definitely different.
But I definitely feel like we have those moments of like you pick a side, right? And then I'm not saying okay, it is what it is. Like whatever you are in life, whatever you enjoy, whatever, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I do feel like there's a separation. Like when we had all those marches, all those movements going on for George Floyd and whatever the case is, everything that went down, right? When it's all said and done, some laws was made for gay people. No laws was made for black people. But the black people, they're the ones who was getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying we have black gay people, of course, but you know what I'm saying? We was getting the whole thing that's happened, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, all these names, right? But there was no law to protect black men or black women from getting killed. But there's after all that marching that we was doing, right? All that protests, when it's all said and done, we had laws that was created for gay people to don't harm gay people. You know what I'm saying? So in the day, intertwined, but you know, if you have these groups that, you know, is fighting more for one than the other, then what's the point of the groups? What's the point of that black coalition, whatever the case is?
No,
if after you do all of that, the black issues is still the same issues.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree with you. Like, 100%. Like, I think there's levels to each movement. Like, when you're black, right? Because it's like, besides being black, then it's like you're either black male or black female, because we both have two different levels of issues that we have to deal with, right? Then besides that, are you straight or are you gay, right? Because so it's like, you know what I mean? There's so many levels to all of those movements that it's like, yeah, you want to try to include everyone or be inclusive to everyone. It's like, okay, well, we're all black, and regardless if you're a man, woman, who you love, blah, 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 like, we can all be under this umbrella. Yeah. But it is very interesting that, like, but then this level of just like, you know, because I think honestly, some people like to forget that they're black, but then people don't forget that you're gay. And I don't know what, like, I think, you know, people.
I think that's, you definitely nailed on the head. I think what,
like, because you get what I'm saying, right? Like, people like to walk around like, well, if I'm light skinned, or if I'm this or that, like, I pass or whatever. Whereas, like, but for whatever reason, people don't.
The world ain't gonna let you go. They gonna let that shit down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and that's really the sad thing about it, is like we are so divided, right? Like you just said, you're black, but then you're a black man, black woman, and that alone right there, that separation between a black man and a black woman alone is big. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're fighting two different fights, and we shouldn't be fighting two different fights. We should fight the same fucking fight because we're black. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love the feminist bit that he did, because that's technically that's the real thing, right? It's like, all right, the feminist movement, and I feel like the feminist movement is one of the movements that really separate, you know, that really separated us and all that, because you have a lot of black women that was the part that was find a whole different movement, right? White women and black women fight, like they find a whole different movement. So even if as a movement you get what you wanted, the white women gonna get what they want, but the black women are not, right? LGBT, even if you do get what you want, the white gays is gonna get whatever, but the black gays is still gonna be, you're gonna realize, nigga, you're still black. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, end of the day, we still, like, you know, we just gotta get one movement together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
but I don't think it's ever gonna be the way, I mean, I was about to try to tie it back, the way, like, people really be out here trying to cancel everybody. I mean, I don't think, unfortunately, I don't know if there's ever going to be like one major. It would be awesome. I feel like you would think Black Lives Matter was supposed to be this one big movement for all black, you know, rights and all those things. But where are we now with that, in a sense? So, yeah. But I think it's like, I think it's crazy the points that people miss that Dave really said. Oh yeah. Or that people chose to miss. Like, I don't think it fell short on a majority of people. I think for a group, and not even just the trans and gay group, because I think there's people that understand where he was coming from. Yeah. But there's a group that just didn't fully listen to the whole thing. Like, I don't know. Or just only want to hear one part. Like, don't joke about us. Yeah. But you joke about, like, his wife is Asian, and he made jokes about Asians.
And he have done that numerous times, not just, you know what I'm saying, like, he done made Asian jokes like, you know, before, you know what I'm saying? So,
but I want to, like, the whole freedom of speech thing now too, just in the past couple years, I think there's a thin line that, like, we are playing with that's just not cool. Like, I understand, again, nobody wants to hear hate speech, right? No one wants to hear, well, all black people are this, or all Spanish people are this, or whatever. But it's like, again, you can have your opinion, right, without being disrespectful. So I get that, but I feel like that thin line of, like, when people can't express themselves regardless of what side they're on, now then is going to become a problem for everyone. Yeah. And I think that people are missing that. Like, yeah, nobody wants to hear Trump and the bullshit that he says, right? Because even right now, he's talking some bullshit. Right? Yeah. But it's like, you know, all these companies that are, like, suspending this, suspending that, blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, because he, you know, they said he incited things and, you know, you don't want to cause violence, understood. But it's like, then at any point when you disagree with someone or have a different view, are they going to take your freedom of speech away? Yeah. Like, I don't have a problem if people want to say that they don't like black women. All right, go ahead.
That's you.
Don't like black women. There's a bunch of millions of people in here that have no problem with black women. Like, I don't have to listen to you.
If you don't like black men, or you would never deal with a black man, that's on you. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what was also, I read somewhere too. You ever watch the show You?
Nah,
you never watched?
I was wanting to about it.
But you know the show I'm talking about, right?
Is it?
It's on Netflix. It's like the dude, he's like a creeper, basically.
Okay.
But like, you know. But they were talking about how like that show is inciting like stalker, not domestic violence, but like how men really do be out here like stalking and killing and doing shit to women. But they were like, it's a fucking show. It's a show. Like, so watching that makes you want to go and stalk someone. Like, come on, let's throw
the whole entertainment away.
Like, and that part is crazy. Like, entertainment is supposed to be truth. Like, it's supposed to be honest. And honesty sometimes is not the easiest to talk about. But it's supposed to be honest.
And it's different. Real talk is just, like, you have honesty, you have fantasy, you have, like, whatever it is, man. Like, if you know you can't handle that, just don't watch it. Stay away from it.
But people are more drawn to things that are real.
Shit, nigga. Watch Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse. Matter of fact, Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse have all did racist shit before.
I mean, that too. A lot of those cartoons are loose sketch.
You know what I'm saying? So, shit, fucking Bugs Bunny was a drag and all that shit. Listen, just don't watch shit. Just throw your whole TV away. You know what I mean? Lock yourself inside. I mean, that and too. Fucking stop doing that. No, don't watch nothing.
I mean, that too.
Don't walk the street, nigga, because you're going to hear some shit that you don't like.
It's
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, freedom of speech is not a thing anymore, man.
I mean, it's not, especially in comedy.
And I think that's what Dave is fighting for more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? He's not fighting for Louis C.K. He's not fighting for, you know what I'm saying, Kevin Hart, who all got canceled in their own sense of time and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting for the last art form that you can be free to speak your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be free in music no more. I remember J. Cole had a line and he said something about an artistic kid, and all of a sudden the fucking artistic motherfuckers came after him and he had to apologize. So you can't say nothing about nobody. Yeah. Unless, you can talk about black men all you want, though. It's all good. We got nobody protecting us, so it's all right.
But I guess if it's a black man talking about a black man.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
So you can make the jokes within your group.
Yeah, like he said, the baby killer nigga.
But they ain't want to cancel him.
They want to cancel the baby, but you know what I mean, he said some shit about gay people. Now you want to fucking cancel the baby.
Well, that went back to our last thing.
God
like,
damn, the baby.
Do you separate someone's music from who they are? But I mean, like, I feel like those are all lessons learned. Like, not everybody grows up in this world fully educated on all these different variations of topics. Like, I've had conversations with friends of mine about what each letter in LGBTQ stands for. Because they were like, I have no fucking idea. And I was like, okay, no problem. This is what it is. Like, but I grew up very open and I'm just very open and understanding to a lot of things.
If I say, listen, I think it's my right. If I say, listen, I mean, I ain't calling a man or her or they, because that's plural and shit, motherfucker. Like, it's only you I'm looking at. I'm not saying they and whatever the case is. You know what I mean? If I say, hey, what's your name? And you tell me a female name, and I call you your name that you tell me it is, I think that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't want to play along and be like, all right, fuck it, you know what I mean, whatever the case is, that should be my fucking right to do so if I choose to or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's whatever. And I think he had a joke about that, right? He had not this special, but a couple specials ago, he had a joke about that where a trans person fell, whatever the case is, right? He's like I guess he fainted. He said, hey, excuse me, man, is he okay? And he was like, she is fine. And he was like, okay, guess we're playing this game, right? He said, well, her balls is hanging out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, all right, cool. Like if you know, I think for each their own, you know, and if someone want to stand on their own truth, their own merit of what they believe or don't believe in, that's on them. I don't think it should be canceled. I don't think it should be ridiculed. I don't think it should be like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, this person's a bad person because he don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think
follow whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because, you know, everybody's different. Everybody have their own thing they stand on.
But like, I mean, this is my last comment, and then I think, you know, whatever. But like, I watched this comedy special of this drag queen who was a comedian, trans. Well, he definitely like, he's a father for sure. Like, he's a man, but he dresses in drag. So I don't know if he necessarily refers to himself as she. But
it's probably just a drag. There's a difference between drag and trans, right?
I think he's definitely, there is. But it's like I think he actually like has boobs, like he got implants and stuff like that. So I'm not 100% sure if he refers to as she or not. But regardless, he's a comedian, and it was just funny to me. Just like, he even made a comment about, like, he was like, I'm an old gay. You know what I mean? He was like, you either like men, you like women, or you like both. That's it. And he was like, so all these different terms and gays, whatever. He said, it's too much for me. He said, I love my people, but y'all doing too goddamn much. And it's like, but you know, like, but that's real. Like, you can respect someone's choice and wanting to be pansexual or whatever. That's what you know. You know, gay, lesbian, bi, right? That's what you grew up knowing. Now it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of terms. Too much variation of the same shit. It's like, what's going on? But right? It was just funny as a comedian. I thought he was hilarious though, because he was saying like real honest, his honest shit. Like,
it was a black or white.
I'll send it to you. I don't remember right now. I can't remember. But regardless,
I don't know why you can't remember. You didn't touch your cup. You was gonna talk about me. I mean, my bad. I mean, I thought we was drinking over here and talking. I mean, it's the Lord's Day. You know what I'm saying? After he made wine and the wine ran out, he made liquor. Well, he made Hennessy next. That's what I know. In my Bible, that's what he made.
Note.
After that, that's what I know that Jesus made after that party was bumping. He's like, Lord, we need some wine. And he's like, all right, cool, we need some wine. The wine ran out. And he's like, all right, cool, I got this new shit that I've been thinking about. You know what I'm saying? And he, boom, put it together and shit. He was like, ooh, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because, you know, whatever. And then he was like, oh, you know what I mean? I call this Hen Rock, baby. You know what I'm saying? And then all the apostles and everybody was just, oh shit, nigga, we out here, nigga. Niggas was sea walking and shit out there. Niggas doing this shit up, man. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Judas was out there walking and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Then he flipped the blood. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of crazy and shit. You know, Juice was the first thing to set trip. Niggas didn't know that shit. He was the first thing to set trip out here.
On that note, I'm done. Thanks for listening.
Niggas didn't know that?
And watching. I hope you enjoyed his story at the end.
I
definitely brought it full for y'all niggas circle.
And shit. Yeah.
Definitely did not. This was more like a square turning into a fight. He did not bring this shit full circle at all.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Keeping It Frank podcast, man. Definitely follow us on IG on Keeping It Frank 100 on IG. Follow YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, you know, Third Eye Media Network on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We out here in these streets. You know, follow Traylin, boom, on, you know, her joint. I mean, she be traveling and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Got a couple trips coming up. You know what I mean?
Trips. You know what I'm saying? Follow me, boom, just because you should. And yeah, man, Keeping It Frank. We out here in these streets. Boom, we out.